This is the Flow Flex Scale Podcast, your field guide to the solopreneur operating system with author and coach, Jennifer Britton. If you're a coach, consultant, creator, or service-based entrepreneur who wants to build a business that's sustainable, adaptable, and impactful, you are in exactly the right place. Every episode will have something you can put to work right away. So here's what to do right now. Follow us so you never miss an episode. And if you know another solopreneur who needs this, share it with them. That's how this community works. Daily steps plus consistent action equals momentum. That's Jennifer's mantra, and it starts right here, right now, with you. This is the Flow Flex Scale Podcast. Let's get started.
Hi, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jennifer Britton, and I'm really excited to be bringing to you this first episode of the Flow Flex Scale podcast. I'm the writer behind the creative framework, which is an operating system for solopreneurs. And through this podcast, we're going to be looking at the people, the practices, and the possibilities of one of the world's fastest growing spaces, solopreneurship. It's 2026, and we are launching the podcast to accompany the book launch later this summer. I have to say, 23 years ago, when I opened the doors here at Potentials Realized, I wouldn't have imagined that so many people would be moving into the space of solopreneurism. Whether it's been because your job no longer exists, you want a little bit more freedom in your work, or you want to really flex your creative muscles, so many people are turning to solopreneurship. It is, of course, the AI era. And I think for many, that's reduced the barriers to opening a one-person show. So solopreneurship takes many spaces. It looks like many things. My guess is you might be a coach, you might be a consultant, you might be a digital creator, you might be activating AI. In fact, one of the things that I want to do through this podcast is bring to life the many, many stories out there, because I've been working with solopreneurs, micro business for more than 23 years, and it looks different at different stages. Again, we're going to be anchoring each episode, which will run for about 15 to 20 minutes, around the people, the practices, and the possibilities. I want to get practical and tactical here, because really we do have limited time as solopreneurs. At the same time, I think it's really important that we create a human face and a human connection to our businesses, especially in an AI-enabled world. So we are going to be following the Flow Flex Scale framework, which I'm really proud to say has evolved out of 20 plus years of thousands of hours, maybe tens of thousands of hours actually, of coaching, of advising and consulting solopreneurs, small business, micro enterprise, and of course, corporate audiences. I've worked with global governments. Many of you know my background within the global arena, but I personally chose back in 2004 to open the doors here on a virtual business that has been and continues to be really a one-woman show. I have built over the years a team of amazing subcontractors, people who partner with me and partner with our business. I say collectively our business, even though I am a solopreneur, but we together have had short-term and long-term partnerships. And so we're going to talk about what solopreneurism looks like today, especially in an era of AI. Solopreneurism is one of the fastest growing areas, and it's no surprise. So here's what we're going to be looking at. Really not only my framework of Flow Flex Scale, which is built around 9 catalysts for solopreneurial growth. I term this a operating system because we know that for a business to succeed beyond the very short window of time that most businesses live, we need to make this an integrated framework. So I'm going to be not only sharing podcast episodes with you, but I'm going to be inviting a variety of guests over the episodes. We'll have people who are just starting out on their entrepreneurial journey. We'll have people who are midpoint, maybe beyond that 5-year marker. I'll also reach out to some of my peers who have been in business for more than 20 years because I want to share with you the variety. I also want to share with you the joy and the passion and the strengths that we get to see with solopreneurs who are rocking it day after day after day. I think you'll hear some of the road tested experiences. You're also going to hear about the pitfalls, the things that take us off course. You're going to hear about the grit and determination and perseverance. You'll also hear about our audacity because being a solopreneur means embracing who we are. To really create a sustainable business, this was true 20 years ago. It's very true today. We need to embrace ourselves. And so all of these things I've rolled into a framework that I call Flow Flex Scale. It's built around the 9 catalysts, and throughout our episodes, we're going to be looking at it. So I just want to briefly introduce you to it right now, because my guess is that you are going to see yourself in this light, whether you're new to solopreneurial business, whether you have been doing this for a while, or whether you're a seasoned hand. Learning is inevitable, as is bringing to life the Flow Flex Scale mantra of daily steps and consistent action equals momentum. You've probably heard me speak to this before. In fact, 8 summers ago, back in 2018, I released a book called Coaching Business Builder. Part workbook, part productivity planner. That book has been embraced by thousands of coaches. It's been a go-to guide for people, especially in the good times and the times where it's a challenging economic environment. That book created the springboard for the Coaching Biz Growth Lab, which was a 1-year program helping coaches build their business in key areas like systems, like core marketing, visibility. In the last year, I've reframed that whole book in terms of the 9 catalysts to solopreneurial growth, because there are interconnected elements that we want to foster on an ongoing basis. As we look at fostering these elements, I'm going to be taking you through the different 9 catalysts in our work and our conversations together. So I hope that you'll enjoy them. And just to give you a little spotlight, it is flow. So really about creating a business that aligns with you, your strengths, your passions, shaped by the conversations you have and grounded in solid business elements. We're also going to look at flex. It's critical to create a business that is agile. It's critical to create a business that is able to pivot. And we do that through several things. Number one, we are going to activate others to support us, whether those are human or agentic. It was really dependent on how you choose to create your own business. So we're going to talk about team and relationships. We're also, as you'll hear from many of our guests, talk about productivity. And a final piece of flex is really about getting things done. This year is our 6th year of offering virtual co-working sprints. And this year it's called the 26 for 26. For 26 days at a time, I've been seeing people move their projects forward 1 day at a time. And that, I can't reinforce, is such a critical mindset in today's world of significant change. It's easy for us to lose faith, and I think this is where a community comes in. In fact, Flow Flex Scale is about not only a book, it's a podcast, it's also a community of solopreneurs. Just because we choose to build a business as a one-person show doesn't mean that we don't need connection. In fact, probably we're more uber connected than anyone else. As we move through the podcast, we're going to get into the area of scale. Scale means different things for each of us. For some of us, like myself, we are the primary bread earner, and failure isn't an option. For others, scale might mean just expanding their network. So we're going to explore the 3 catalysts of scale. Those being products and programs. We're going to look at marketing and visibility in a way that works for you with your DNA, and also business acumen. I think there's going to be a lot of landscape, and having been a podcaster for many, many years, I'm sure that you will find an episode or more that you enjoy. One of the lessons learned over the last couple of years as I've been hosting the Coaching Money podcast is to really widen the lens on stories. We learn through experiences, through hearing about other people's road-tested tools and practices. And so I'm excited to be bringing to you solopreneurs at all stages of their business growth. People who set out to be a solopreneur, people who really fell into solopreneurism. And so we can learn with them. As I sit down and talk to them, we're going to be looking at a couple of things. We're going to be looking at what were their experiments. And in fact, as a listener, you're going to be invited to practice or experiment, try out a different experiment after every episode. We're also going to highlight some momentum movers, back to this notion of daily steps and consistent action, creating momentum. This has been a cornerstone of my conversations for more than a decade now. It is the micro moves that really move the needle on business, especially in disrupted moments. So we're going to be looking each episode. There will be a momentum move, invitation, of course, for you to try out. So today, as we look at this foundation, it really is about thinking about a notion of operating system. I have seen a lot of different types of business coaching over the years, and I have to say I'm very proud that many of the businesses I started coaching 20 plus years ago are still in business. They're still entrepreneurs. They are still CEOs of their own show. They have surpassed the very sometimes dramatic statistics we see about business lifespan. And so my invite is, and why I call this an operating system, is because it's not about short little unconnected or disconnected tactics. It really is a integrated format. The 9 catalysts, the 3 activators, and as we double down on these, really can get and create and sustain a business that matches you and your needs. So my invite for you this week is to really think about where you are right now. Part of coaching work is really not only about noticing where you are, but it's also about creating a vision of where you want to be. And regardless of what phase you are in business, regardless of what elements you use or what business model you would subscribe to, what is your vision? What is possible for you? I want to keep putting that question out around vision because it is our vision that pulls us forward, especially through the challenging times. It is our vision that gets us excited. And people around me this year have seen how animated I have been in bringing this whole body of work forward. I believe in it because it has transformed not only my family's life, but it has transformed so many lives around the world. Every day, I feel so privileged to be able to get up, do the work that I love, work with people who are really making a difference in the world. And it's been through intentional design and activating all of these catalysts. Now, business is an ongoing learning laboratory. Some of you may, in fact, have joined me over the years at our labs. If we're not learning, if we're not reflecting on a regular basis, that's where things can really get dicey. And in fact, I'm excited about bringing this podcast forward because just like many of you, I too need motivation. And I know that you're going to find the guests that I bring are inspirational. They're going to be sharing more about their journeys, their tested tips, their tested practices. And I think we can all benefit from some inspiration. So thank you for taking time in today's episode. I want to invite you not only to get on our newsletter list, because this summer, 2026, will be the release of the Flow Flex Scale book. I also want to invite you to make sure that you don't miss an episode. As I said, every episode is going to have some momentum moves. There are going to be some downloads that you can be using to apply to your work. Now, in 2026, they're not just static PDFs, right? We are an AI-enabled organization, and I have been an AI advocate since the start. After I found out several of my books had been used by the machines to be training around group and team coaching, I figured I might as well benefit as well. And so we are AI-enabled. And I won't call myself a vibe coder, but actually I have been able to activate a number of cool things that I think you as an entrepreneur and a solopreneur will find neat. As we go episode to episode, I'll be pointing to those different things and really hope that, as I said, that this introduces you or connects you to the people, to the practices, and the possibilities of not only solopreneurism in general, but to your business and what you are creating. Keeping these episodes short, we are getting to time, 15 minutes. So I hope you'll come back. I'm looking forward to introducing our first guest, Valerie. And she is going to be speaking about her first year as a solopreneur. She also is going to take us into some discussion around productivity, systems, and she will be back in a second part of an episode, which I think is even more important. That'll be episode 4 of the Flow Flex Scale podcast. She's going to talk about identity and the shifting identity needed as you leave corporate for solopreneurism. It's fresh for her. It's a little longer for me, but you'll hear both of us sitting down and talking about the being of the solopreneur, which is not just the doing of the business. So please check us out. Really appreciate any shares, any comments, any likes, because the world of today is all about the algorithm. And I know how important this work has been over 20 years in changing people's businesses. I hope that you will just take a moment, share this with your network, and let us know what you want to hear from and about. So with that, until we meet again, we'll see you soon. Take care.